Hi guys. My question is about the moving pictures in the movies, like me. Obviously, in Prisoner of Azkaban, this was just probably a blue screen or nothing in the set. But for the ones like the Fat Lady and the Portrait and things like that, where the characters actually interact with the moving pictures, do they put like a person back there? Do they project something, or is it like a still? And how do they do that?
I can't really comment too much on that, but I suppose one way to answer it would be that there's two units really in any film. You've got the main unit and the second unit. And the second unit mainly shoot all that kind of might be add in visual effects elements, but they vary for what photo you're talking to in that kind of way. But I mean, a lot of the time obviously you talk to a green wall, but then you had the actor or another actor playing that part for you, so it wasn't as if like you were just talking and trying to imagine them saying the lines back to you. There's always that relationship going.
So it's usually just a green wall. They don't have a physical thing for you to look at.
Not all the time. No, there is normally playback and stuff where you can listen to obviously make reference to it, but actually visualizations isn't necessarily always there.
Thank you.
That's a great costume, by the way.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Have you been to Harry Potter World yet?
What's that, sorry?
Have we been to Orlando for the Wizarding World? Yeah, we've been there twice. That's great.
Well, we say officially twice. We've actually been in the park a lot more than that. Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal, that place. When we first went there, we didn't really know what to make of it, but I think it's if anyone here has been, as soon as you walk through the main gates, and you've got like the Hogwarts Express right there, and if you just look up through Diagon Alley, and you've just got like the castle at the end of it, and everything. It's just all absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, we went the first time for the soft launching, so it's pretty much like they just have like one film crew in and they just follow you around, and that was cool. And then I mean, what was great about that trip as well is because it wasn't advertised that anyone was going to be there, so we literally had the whole place to ourselves. It was like any person that likes theme parks. It was like a golden ticket pretty much. Like, what ride do you want to go on? Can we go on the Hulk, please? Yeah, okay, let's open it for you. It's like that kind of really lucky thing. And then just going around the Wizarding World as well, just when there's no one there, was a pretty cool treat. And then the second time I went there was for the official launch, and that was something I will remember that until the day I die. We started press at like 4 a.m. that morning, and I remember that as well to the day. But there was people. Like we got there and there were people already there who had camped out from the night before, and there was helicopters flying of all the news crews trying to get the shots of the people, and we were told that they were expecting 90,000 people that first day, and 150,000 people turned up for it. So that was something like to witness that, and then that kind of brings it back to like when we're just shooting in a studio, and then you kind of see just how much the books, the films and everything mean to everybody. And when we met some of the guys who had been there on the opening day, it really had made their trip.
But especially, I don't know if anyone saw any footage online or if they were fortunate to be there, but there was a huge opening ceremony, and you actually had like John Williams conducting the orchestra to one side, and they took us all at night, and virtually everyone there had wands which blew up, and it was absolutely mind-blowing really to watch.
Hey, I just want to say that you guys are my favorite characters in the whole movie, so this is a treat for me. But out of all the movies except the last one, what's your favorite line?
I think I'll let James go first on this.
I can't say line, I'd say scene-wise, my favourite would be when we did when Fred and George give Harry the Marauder's map in The Prisoner of Azkaban. That was a lot of fun on a lot of levels really. Our grandfather, before he passed away, he said that like when we had that script, and I can remember saying to us that, you know, this is going to be good, I know it is. And when we met Alfonso, the scene was originally written quite differently to how it turned out, simply because it was kind of done like one character says all this, another character says all this. And then when we met Alfonso, we kind of started talking over each other, as we do. everyone's like, oh, I really like it, he really liked that, kind of got a pencil and then chopped the scene up. And so that's when we pretty much had to learn how to do it without, or how to like jump on each other's lines without intentionally doing it, or intentionally, So yeah, I'd say for me that.
Yeah, no, I can only
You can't
say
say
so.
no, you've got to come up with it.
Well, to be honest, I think one of the best lines, the first line that came up, Fred and George in the Philosopher's Stone, the Sorcerer's Stone movie, when they're talking to Mrs. Weasley on the platform, like that whole little piece there was really special to us, because I think it's one that it wasn't the first scene when we filmed the dialogue, but we knew it'd be the first one everyone saw. And I remember watching it in the premiere and my heart was like,
Hi. Being a twin myself, I'm curious, what's the most dumb twin question you've ever been asked?
Are you twins? It comes up more often than you'd probably think, actually. And it depends really on what sarcasm level people work at. But if you said, like we said, someone thought, oh no, we just met,
We met at the audition.
and they believe you until you go, no, is it really? So what's yours?
When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
Thank you.
Hi, I'd like to ask, have you ever met J.K. Rowling, the author for the Harry Potter series?
Yeah, we've met her about 3 or 4 times now. Yeah, I mean we don't really see her when she's like at the studios very often. But yeah, we've met her a few times, and it's kind of one of those things what we say to her. Are we doing a good job type thing? But she's very approachable. Yeah, very nice.
Hello, I was wondering, did you have like any crazy fan experiences, like stories?
I guess I said this one the other day, but last time at Dragon Con, Predator traced me down the street. And I'm still looking over my shoulder this time around, so I guess I don't know, not so much scary or anything like that. It's just what's really cool about the Potter fan base is that like everyone wants to come and say hello and see how you're doing and everything, but they're not intrusive. So, and when we speak to a couple of other guys from other movie series, we've heard some pretty horror stories really, but from everyone I know in the Potter world, we've got on really well, and I can't say there's really been anything too scary.
Yeah, no, I said the same thing. As I say, it's weird like where you go and what you see. People do. Like we were watching a space shuttle take off earlier this year when we were actually the week before the Wizarding World opened. We went on a drive around Florida, and so we went over to Titusville and watched the shuttle take off. And just before the thing lit up, still that going, oh, can we have a photo with you, please? You're gonna probably miss that, mate. Stuff like that always makes me laugh.
Alright, if you were to dress up for Dragon Con, what would you be?
Well, we actually, it was a very half-assed attempt last night, but we went around having a look what was going on. Didn't really come with a costume as such, but looking at some of the costumes over here, I think the Halo costumes look pretty cool, like the Master Chief and stuff. But yeah, like last night, James and I got gas masks and wore that. I don't know if you saw us knocking about with shorts, gas masks, and a baseball cap on. But it's quite cool, so this is our 3rd time here, and we've never had a chance to go around and watch all the costumers and everything. But it seemed to get the later the night went, the less material was being worn. I don't know if anyone saw the guy dressed as a pimp who was in like huge platform shoes, he had his white cane, Speedos, and a cape. Yeah, it's not really a good sign.
I saw some guys dressed like Terrence and Philip from South by Esther, and I thought they were wicked costumes, so something like that probably.
Back when the books were still coming out, was reading the books for the first time more exciting or nerve-wracking, knowing you'd have to end up doing everything in there?
We kind of read them just as fans, like everyone else does. Like when we first read the fourth book, the Goblet of Fire, had just come out when we went for our first audition. So the first 3 or 4, we'd read them just like everyone else had, like just imagining these characters. But because Fred and George were twins, obviously we kind of related a bit more to them. But I guess since they came out as we were shooting, we still just read them like fans, and we kind of imagined, yeah, that would be great to do, and hopefully they end up in the script, and quite a few of them did.
I just wanted to clarify which is Fred and which is George.
I'm Oliver and I play George. Obviously James plays Fred.
Thank you.
Hi, it's my favorite part of the movies when you guys say stuff together, so I was wondering if in unison you could say babbling, bumbling, bambling.
Probably not. Bambling, bumbling. You've got to do it, Sarah.
Okay.
No, you do.
Say it with you?
Yeah, you need to do it.
Okay, like on the count of 3?
Okay, we'll do one.
Alright, 1, 2, 3.
Bambling, bumbling, bambling, the foods.
Hello, James Oliver.
Hello.
I wanted to compliment you on how much you've grown through all of these films in the craft of acting. And I wanted to ask you, without giving away spoilers, could you tell me if you've done any sort of training, special training, acting or physical, just in preparation for these final films?
Not particularly. We kind of all kept our, obviously, they say we've probably grown about 4 or 5 foot since we started. But no, I guess that training-wise, it was all like the one action and everything. We kind of learnt a lot of that in the Order of the Phoenix during the dueling, the Dumbledore's army scene. So just kind of remembering all that, and we kind of, if there's any special features going on behind the scenes, you may look a bit silly if you just waving sticks.
Did somebody choreograph? You have to follow choreography then when you're doing those wand.
Yeah, kind of. The stunt guys kind of know a lot, and a lot of them are trained sword fighters and all that. So a lot of the elements are essentially based loosely around that. So, but on a fitness-wise, not really. I love running and all that kind of stuff. So that's just how I train, I guess. But the other day we were in Cologne with EA Games for the Deathly Hallows Part 1 video game, and there was a big thing going on there, so we went for that, and I decided to go for a run, just a short 6k run to see what's going on, and I got a little lost, and the 6k run turned into a 12km run, and I saw a lot more of Cologne than I should have done, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, as James said, it was all the stunt guys pretty much showed us. They showed us how it worked, what different spells, different movements mean for different spells, and then it was kind of left up to us to try and work it as to which way you want to put it together and stuff. So I think initially there was about 5 or 6 attacking elements and 5 or 6 defensive elements. But yeah, it all looks. Watching it back on the playback looks a bit odd without any of the effects put in and everything. But we did see a few of the effects, and it looks really good.
Hey guys, it's me again. I just wanted to know, since Prisoner of Azkaban, what is the weirdest gift you've ever gotten from a